Peace FM 104.3. Who to me take?
Me pede me ba. Me pede me ka malaria once. Malaria once. Brouhaha over implementation of malaria vaccine trial. Grandpapa.
Yes.
Africans, black people, the darker skinned people on the face of the planet. Since here, every time we are the blunt of experiments. Grandpapa, in the US, a kind of the Tuskegee experiment.
Catch him.
Were for black men. And I was infecting one with syphilis. And I was share the long, to the end of the syphilis. I won't treat him. One when you are source, one we call blind. When we use syphilis as a war tool. That sebe soldier fuko war prostitutes na zeno. One man syphilis na soldiers if you want quite a day to weaken your front line. We use black people as the experimental tool. Says here in the first phase of this year working. What's in the first phase, were tested on US. I don't believe it.
You have any evidence to the contrary?
Me make me case. Grandpapa, me be my series of circumstantial evidence. That me doing there why the matter you engage in.
You know why? Unfortunately, it's not in your interest to continue. Because you're going to give me circumstantial evidence, not cold evidence.
Oh, remember facts, remember history. Come in, walk it through historical antecedents of malaria.
Debbie, Mpocho, let us look at.
Remember facts.
But Mr. Let's look at the issue on the table.
Okay, but I will take facts.
What's it? 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it was tried in the US and Belgium.
Yes.
And Sana was a reba. What try what Ghana has for more than 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Ghana, Kenya, Malawi. Mm-hmm. So it's not as if they I didn't know
Sub-Sahara Africa.
Why you now? Okay, Tiago.
Come they are black people.
Belgium for no trial.
No, the main test has been in Sub-Sahara Africa. And I make a sure there.
Nigeria had malaria.
Kwame, do you know the US had malaria?
What happened?
And I was eradicating malaria. And Pede, you walk it through how US or eradicating malaria. Why are there 1 year vaccines in the US against malaria? Now we're eradicating malaria. Kwame, prevention is better than cure. And it's Pede, you walk it through the process. One can say we're eradicating malaria. In 1946. In the United States of America, after World War II, we created Center for Disease Control Prevention in 1946.
Okay.
Now, what they did in the day was mass spraying of their country. At that time, with DDT, mass spraying in their country. From 1946 to 1951. In exactly 5 years, the US will eradicate malaria in their country. Will improve water bodies, drainage systems, and processes in the waterfront, to help eradicate malaria. Grandpapa, when we have a fight against filth in Ghana, that is the process to eradicate malaria. Or they ye clean, ye distill, ye water bodies, proper drainage systems. Now you make sure they create sanitary conditions of our people to eradicate malaria. The answer is not a vaccine or your lazy man's approach. Grandpapa, yes, what the United States of America has done now. And this vaccine, Grandpapa, the first people I ordered what test American soldiers what put on in Sub-Sahara Africa. Even American soldiers who have been placed in Sub-Sahara Africa are not the people here test this preventive vaccine on on them. But
how do you know? How do you know where the soldiers were?
Just forgive me. Is it U.S. and they push the agenda and I say WHO?
WHO.
Who funds
US versus Ghana? I just needed that clarity.
The WHO who funds it primarily.
Okay.
And world best practices. I thought you're good for Ghana, then check you're good for Brunei. What is good for the black man should be good for the white man, the Indian man, the Chinese man. Is that not so? And I'm saying there, why there? The first guinea pigs. Test the vaccine on us when a foreign soldier who is posted to sub-Saharan Africa also comes into contact with malaria.
Are they testing?
Right now they are implementing.
So why are you saying they were a test?
If they are implementing it, shouldn't it stand to reason that the soldiers, European soldiers and other people who are posted into sub-Saharan Africa should be the first people to have taken this vaccine?
How do you know, sir? And your money at this start here.
It hasn't been stated anywhere.
So you're assuming?
It hasn't been. They told us they are testing the first phase 3 trial conducted from 2009 to 2014. Enroll approximately 15,000 young children and infants in 7 sub-Saharan African countries, including Ghana. What can be about Europe?
Where did phase 2 happen?
Phase 2, it happened in phase 1 was the US and
Belgium.
Belgium, mentioned.
But
it didn't tell us the nature of the events there. What they are telling us in phase 3, the final trial, RTS final trial, it was conducted in 7 sub-Saharan African countries.
Your point is?
My point is that black man continues to be the test tube baby. The test tube baby. Now, I'm just sounding caution that the real issue against malaria is the prevention of malaria. And there's a process that we go through. So if we are learning something from other countries, what was the process? One was the eradicating malaria. Because the US had over 6 million cases of malaria in 1947. And what clear, all of these cases, Grandpapa, and that is, to me, is the story. That is the story. If you Google anywhere how US got rid of malaria, all the facts are there. All the facts are there. So so in Ghana here, are we saying there level in perpetual malaria root? The time you malaria but we don't want to clean our systems, clean our environment, improve your drainage system. Yes, spray, mass spraying in the country to get rid of malaria. Are we going to now? Give up on eradicating malaria? Since a vaccine. Grandpapa, the thing about vaccines, the history of vaccines, that if you don't have what you don't have it, you are injected with it small quantities, hoping that your body will build what they call antibodies to the thing that you are preventing. Until you get it, you automatically have it forever when you take this vaccine. Grandpapa is also poor people's children. It is 99% poor people's children. Most so-called educated people do not allow their children to take these vaccines.
Are you sure?
I'm telling you, Grandpapa. Because when you get the knowledge,
vaccines for polio.
Most of
hold on. Vaccines for polio, measles, diphtheria, yellow fever. Only poor people's children take those vaccines. Is that your argument?
Grandpapa, do you know that most European people don't allow their children to take those vaccines?
Europeans are the only rich people.
And Americans. What I'm saying is this.
I'm talking about Ghana.
That is where it is the genesis of it. And if you buy, then they must reflect in what society.
Womba, Ghana for.
Yeah, 100%.
Have any of them been vaccinated against anything? Polio, measles. Yellow fever.
I have never done it.
The sixth childhood killer disease. You haven't vaccinated any of your children.
Say I've read a lot.
It won't waha.
No waha.
And I will be a vaccine.
I disallowed it. I agree.
Okay, so that's you.
I never agree.
Personal choice.
Because when you're there, people with low blood count and they make medical conditions there, where you're predisposed to a lot of these things. And to exacerbate what condition. Anyway, and to what I'm saying today, the preventive measures of getting rid of malaria, to me, is more substantive than you look for vaccine, which is a shortcut, a dangerous route to kill. And Grandpapa, why are they also starting with some regions? Some 4 regions. How did they pick those regions? How did they pick the Bono regions, Central region, Volta region? How did they pick these regions to be the beginning of these vaccinations?
This morning, Dr. Nsiasa Ikasa me say, your assessment of baby malaria was ropa. They start here. So that's how they pick the regions.
In the Ashanti region, in malaria.
No, you didn't hear me.
I heard you. Me too, pa.
On cancer baby, malaria.
I'm raising issues against it.
Why?
Because if you talk about the Bono region, and then you come to Ashanti region, and you are telling me that the Bono region instances far away Ashanti region instances, based on what?
Based on what are you saying? What you're saying? Speculation or hard facts?
Come up and say, I interrogate the issues.
Maybe so.
Then we become a society that you swallow everything that anybody comes to tell us.
Agreed. So tell me the results of your interrogation.
Grandpa, what I'm saying today.
Are you speculating another Ejnebibido?
Grandpa, when
or you're just interrogating the issue so that we can have discussion with it?
Yeah, deductive analysis. Grandpa.
So deductive analysis is not necessarily facts.
Oh, Grandpa, the facts can be viewed and twisted as people like it.
If you're doing a trial, clinical trial, whatever it is, say you sample. The sample size near there. It is a research, right? It's always a sample size, not the obia near the bear. So ABI depending on your movement. Maybe besides that same question I will be saying. And Dr. Asari say, you share Ghana, you share baby the endemic. Baby malaria was ropano. And yet this trials and starting war. So that's what his answer. If you don't agree, give me superior arguments. If you
okay, Grandpa.
First one, let's just say, will be experimental and and where your areas been. Those are the areas.
The first, here, Kintampona,
Kintampo name say Agogo.
Yeah.
And Agogo is an Ashanti, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it comes back to the same thing you were talking about.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Grandpapa.
No, initially we say near Ashanti, but Agogo is an Ashanti.
No. The third phase of which they are doing the implementation, I don't think Agogo count. Ashanti region count.
Are you reading from graphic page 16?
Yes, page 16.
Okay, let's just say that we're using graphic today as our Bible on this
when
matter.
They were trying, they used Agogo.
Exactly,
but in the so reason we say that in the implementation stage, Agogo should also be part.
That's what we.
No, but also the place that was highly endemic, so that is why they did the Agogo and Bono Brown region. Those are the highly prevalent areas.
Let me read.
But in the implementation, they took out
Ghana.
the same areas.
In Ghana, the vaccine which was introduced on May 1, 2019 was being implemented in the Bono, Ahafo, Bono East, Volta, Oti, and Central regions, where, according to Dr. Nsiasari, malaria was endemic. End of it. Abi?
Oh, but if you go back a little bit, just the paragraph before that, if you go back, the phase 2 and 3 clinical trials,
he said were also done in 11 research sites in 7
including Ghana,
in 7 African countries,
including Ghana and Kintampo and Agogo
research centers.
Yes.
So
these are the endemic areas. But if you come to the implementation, you see Agogo is not there. As I say,
research.
There's a disconnect. The research center are cited
My brother,
where
my brother.
high prevalence.
No. You get it wrong.
Oh, how?
The fact that there's a research center somewhere doesn't mean
How
that.
can you be doing mosquito in Agogo and the Agogo is
Anyway, Nana, you see from Namco so your point is
My point is we should do focus on preventive.
Oh.
We should because the distilling the drains, controlling the water bodies, mass spraying exercise, intensifying stop the field campaign, putting the power at the local assemblies to ensure that we clean our filth and the rest. Grandpapa, that's the only way we get rid of malaria.
Right.
That is what the focus should be. I hold skepticism at any time a needle or the water pani the bow will be ninsa as part of an experimental trail, because I would think there from European perspective, the soldiers and the rest that are coming to Africa who need to be guarded most against malaria, they should be vaccinated to come near with them. One watch Japan in it. So when we are taking it, then our children too are safe. That is my argument, that we cannot be the place that they are starting from, because the Tuskegee experiment has shown over time that sometimes black people, African people, we are seen as less than. And when you are seen as less than, you become the subject of experiments that can sometimes become detrimental to existence.
But
knowing,
whilst you are at it,
Grandpapa, do you know that what the smallpox, the chicken pox, good blankets, what the man Native Americans to kill them.
I want him to say, Nana, whilst you are at it, only said there's an outbreak of measles in America. You know that?
In Atlanta?
No, in 22 states. You know that?
Currently? Yes.
Yeah. Measles.
Brooklyn and all of those things, yeah.
Meanwhile, America declared measles eradicated in 2000.
Yes, but Grandpa,
you know why?
But so that is what I'm.
Some of the reasons is that they refuse to vaccinate their children.
That is the argument they are trying to use for us, against us. I have read that counter argument.
There's an outbreak of measles. Measles are eradicated to Ghana. Measles in America.
And so,
as we speak today,
to me, that
Monday morning, there's an outbreak.
Grandpa, that rather buttresses misstatement, which means that prevention is better than cure. It buttresses my point that we can also know that this vaccine might not prove.
So far in America,
the success rate is
also
20%.
People travel to countries with large outbreaks of measles. No, they are back to America. If you want.
Grandpapa, have you read what's it? 3 in 10, 29% of the cases severe malaria were reduced. It's a 30% when you get the vaccine or a 30% chance that you will not contract it. It is not 100% proof. Look at the numbers here. Look at the 37.2% reduction overall malaria-related instances. We are not talking about something that is a panacea. The percentage-wise, of the experiment that they have conducted, is less than 40%. That is why I'm saying that you're careful, because these things, as you rightfully said, as measles has popped up somewhere, this is not the solution. The solution is keeping our society free of filth and watching our water bodies and proper drainage systems. And within a short time, we as a country can eradicate malaria.
Point one note.